We're about 3 hours away from the main slate of NFL Week 1 kicking off. I'll be here all year, your host, Liam Murphy, before the Sunday day slate. Usually going to go live at 10 a.m. till about 11:30, maybe 11 a.m., depending on the week. Going to be answering start-sit questions, going to be doing some drafts on Underdog Fantasy, and helping with any last-minute cramming for DFS as well. We're still waiting on Week 1 inactives. That will come out around 11:30 Eastern time for the 1 p.m. slate. Of course, the big ones are, since I did a DFS show, which I did earlier in the week, the big things that happened is it seems like Russell Wilson is definitely going to be starting. So he should be pretty chalky at 5K on DraftKings. And then the other big one is T. Higgins is doubtful to play. Jamar Chase is sick / upset he's not paid. So I think Jamar Chase is going to play. Andre Yoshivas at 3K, of course, is going to be very high owned. The Bengals wide receiver 3. He has a high ceiling, low floor, kind of a deeper A-dot player, even though he plays in the slot. He's super fast, so he can win downfield. I think he's a pretty good play. Some good leverage off of Yoshivas would be a player like Mike Gesicki at 3K. And also like the Patriots defense seeming like a decent game theory spot. Just hoping that the Bengals fail as a team with the offensive injuries. What's up? My body's ready. What's the game set up for today? Quad box / red zone. I'm going to watch the game with my dad. So either it's going to be Bills game on one half of the TV and red zone on the other half, or going to fire up just the Bills on the main screen, and I'll have red zone on my computer screen. Going to be playing a lot of the Bears pieces, so I want to see that game. In my 2K main event with Ron and Jacob, we picked up Fields. We have Caleb Williams. I want to start Caleb Williams anyways over Fields. I just think that if you need, like start-sit questions for fantasy football, a lot of people just generally ask 2 players. But something to think through is like how many points, like what's your matchup? Is your team better or worse than the opposing team? Are you facing a team that already started Jaden Reed and Isaiah Likely? Like, are you projected to lose? If so, I would play Justin Fields because he's more likely to put up 40 points. He's more likely to put up 50 points. But Justin Fields also is more likely to put up like 11 points, 12 points. So if my team is better in a lead, doesn't need as many points, I would play Caleb Williams. I don't see how he fails. He has rushing ability. His team total is higher than the Steelers by quite a bit. And we just like the Bears offense. Like I like the Falcons defense quite a bit today. Before we get to these start-sit questions, the season started off great for me. I have a lot of Isaiah Likely. We love that. I didn't have as much Saquon, but honestly, I'm not too worried about Saquon. He looked good. I said on this channel a couple times that like I'm not going to be drafting a lot, but I do see the CMC smash thesis going to the 49ers, also on the Eagles. So I drafted him at the 2-3 turn. And I have a ton of Jaden Reed, where earlier in the year, I was not drafting enough Jaden Reed. I would, just did the Packers in general. And then as the offseason went on, I looked at it and I was like, okay, first off, Jordan Love is an MVP candidate to me. He's like very similar to CJ Stroud, except for all his passing game pieces are cheaper. And the Packers get the Vikings week 17, a team who I think has a terrible secondary. And so I wanted to be jamming them. And pretty much what I did is like my marathon exposure, which I drafted later in the season, I have 22% Jaden Reed. Because pretty much what I did is like the 5th round for me just became either take Jaden Reed or take Rome Odunze. I had Jaden Reed ranked at the 4-5 turn for like a couple months where I just got really excited about him as a potential league winner. So I had him ranked, like right in that Terry McLaurin tier, maybe even above over at beatbestball.com. And he was falling as far as like the 6-7 turn. So I just have a massive bag on him. Jordan Love got semi-positive news. The field was egregious that they made them play the Packers on. Just insane that we're having NFL players play on non-standard fields. And even before the last play where Jaden Reed got high load, guy hit him low and high, I saw him drop back in one of the plays and he stumbled. And so like it wouldn't surprise me if he hurt his knee there or his MCL or whatever. This is a dog bowl draft, $25 drafts, 12-man draft rooms here. I've done like 9, so gonna try to get in at least 10. And if you win this, you get a $10K ticket to go to a live final. Super top heavy because only the top 3 win, but gonna try to do some dog bowl drafts. I think the main slate already filled, which was $5, $30K to first. All right. I need some help. DJ Moore, Deebo Samuel, Caleb Williams, or Justin Fields, 0.5 PPR. I'd be firing up DJ Moore and Caleb there, in my opinion. I think they're both in smash spots. The DJ Moore versus Deebo thing, though, is incredibly close. Brandon Ayuk is reported to be that he's not going to be on a full complement of snaps, which obviously would make Deebo better. Deebo's also not as much of a real wide receiver as Ayuk. And why that matters is the Jets have the best corners in the NFL with Sauce Gardner. And so let's go JT this time. I went Kincaid in another draft, so we're going to mix there. Why that matters is with the Jets not having as much of a real, or the Deebo not being as much of a real wide receiver and just getting a little bit more short routes where he can generate yak, it just means he's not going to be like locked down by a Sauce Gardner, but I'm probably not benching Ayuk unless I have a similar value. Morning, down 25 points in one of my home leagues, so I need to swing for upside. Who to start in flex for PPR? Addison / Moss or Ramondre Stevenson? I have JJ. I don't know what JJ means. Justin Jefferson, I assume. Oh, you have Justin Jefferson, so you're not sure about Addison? Yeah, I think I'd play Moss there and just hope that he scores 2 to 3 touchdowns with you having Justin Jefferson. Like you can't really get away with let's go double running back here to start. Rashad White, pretty smash spot against the Commanders defense, but yeah, you can't really get away of playing Addison and Justin Jefferson. Of course, they both can have ceiling games, but it's more trying to capture a high floor. And if you need to swing for upside, like Zach Moss has a very low floor where he could see 10 snaps today if it's just the Chase Brown show. But myself and I think general sentiment is that he is also the one more likely to score 2 touchdowns, kind of be leaned on. Something to think through is like the Bengals play the Patriots in week 1. They play the Chiefs in week 2. So are they going to be going all out in the passing game? Are they going to be showing everything? Or are they going to kind of letting Moss grind that game down and try to keep things close to the vest against the Chiefs? So I think I'd play Moss there. And yeah, you're going to feel silly if Addison catches a touchdown, but that's what I'd do. Think I'm playing Josh Palmer over Dunze this week. James, that's super close for me. I love Rome. I'm playing him in a lot of spots, but I get the appeal of the Chargers passing game pieces. There's no DJ Chark, so I'm kind of expecting them to be 12 personnel heavy, which inherently means that Palmer and Lad McConkey should see decent target shares. But yeah, I'd have a hard time benching Rome. I'm not scared of him being a rookie in week 1. Do we like Jameson Williams, Tajay Spears, Adunze, or AD Mitchell for today in full PPR? Pretty comfortably Rome Adunze for me. Yeah, man, I know the running back crowd doesn't want to hear this, but Austin Eckler looked great in week 1. So Saquon scored 3 touchdowns. He's not going to do that each week, or 2 touchdowns. Like he's not going to do that each week. Period. Also, I mean, he looked good, yes. Isaiah Likely scored similar to him. Jaden Reed scored similar to him. So sure, your second round pick scored well. He needs to hold up for 17 weeks. He needs to be a deciding factor in the playoff weeks to really be a big hit. Him scoring 30 and Isaiah Likely matching him is like, come on. Yeah, the love thing doesn't feel great, but Jaden Reed is just kind of like he's Slim Debo Samuel. So even like if you get Malik Willis, okay, that's terrible. But if you can get Ryan Tannehill, running that offense, I could see Jaden Reed still having some big days. I was hoping to sneak DJ Moore here. Any thoughts on deciding between Charbonnet, Ty Chandler, or Bucky Irving for an RB2? I need not just a 0, so I'm lowering. Yeah, I think I'd play Chandler there. With, especially with Charbonnet banged up and Bucky being a rookie. Warren or Chase Brown, if you need ceiling at RB2, I'd probably go Chase Brown. Sometimes you have to let IKB it. We're playing Tank Dell over Diggs. Keon, Spears, Warren, or Taysom PPR. If I need ceiling, I'm playing Taysom. Otherwise, I think you play Keon. He's not my favorite play. His floor is really low. But I think he's a better play than Spears and Warren. You listened to me and started read over JSN? Yeah, that was an easy one. In Superflex, I have Caleb stacked with Rome and Keenan. I would stack him with Rome, but you're going to feel silly if Keenan comes out and has 10 targets for whatever, 90 yards. I just prefer Rome. What's your favorite player prop? I haven't really looked there, JJJ. We'll definitely be doing more player prop work. Maybe we'll take a look after a draft. Probably going to pass on quarterback here. Let's take Christian Kirk. Old man Kirk's been left for dead. Definitely could have a smash game against the Dolphins. Could we peek your home league matchup after this draft? Sure, man. And I'll be reviewing my by the way, I'm not responsible for anything in this home league. Bunch of hooligans in here. But I'll be reviewing my high stakes matchups each week, probably on Monday. In a 6-point passing touchdown league, how love? Are you more bullish on Lawrence or Stafford? Easily Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence has rushing upside, similar passing upside. Ran really bad last year. Chase Brown, Jaleel McLaughlin, J.K. Dobbins, or Rico Dowdle, my RB2 full points PPR. Chase Brown. I'd pick up Lawrence if you had Love. Herbert, pretty nice fallback though. Happy football season. Who would you pick full PPR? Thielen, Odunze, or Jameson Williams? I'd play Odunze. You killed that draft? The only one? Thanks, man. Do you think the Titans will be a pass funnel defense? So I think the Titans took a lot of steps to improve their defense. You know, they signed L'Jarius Sneed, but we're going to fade all that. We're going to fade all that and just say Bears go Burr. You know, F a defense. There's so few defenses that can actually slow down offenses. And I don't know, man. The way these early games have gone, where it's like I was high conviction on Likely, smashed. I was high conviction on Reed, smashed. I was also high conviction on Watson. And I would say on the Packers wide receivers, the field was so bad, it's hard to get full takeaways there. Like Dontavian Wick slipped 3 times. Christian Watson probably scores like 2 touchdowns on a normal field. So hard to get a full breakdown there. Romeo Doubs will be a guy in the red zone, but yeah, pretty comfortably below Watson and Reed for me. I forget what point we were talking about there. JSN, Warren, or Deontay in a half PPR flex. Deontay, if I'm like fine with like 15 to 20 points, and JSN if I need ceiling. Week 1, this is our Christmas. Good luck. Hey, Luis, good luck, man. Let's have one of us win the Millie Maker. Either myself or one of you guys. Let's do it, guys. In a single entry DraftKings, is it viable to just stack Josh Allen and James Cook? Should be low owned. Cal, it's a little thin. But yes, I think it's viable. James Cook is a pass catching running back. You know, and you're gonna need what happened with basically Saquon. Of course, James Cook's huge blow up games are negatively correlated with Josh Allen in the sense where, okay, yeah, could James Cook catch 3 touchdowns? Yes. But more likely of James Cook blow up game is him catching 1 touchdown, maybe 2, and then also running an 80-yard touchdown, which Josh Allen scores no points on. But James Cook runs legitimate routes down the field, like how Saquon scored on a wheel route. James Cook can do that, and he's been targeted a lot like that. So it's thin, but I think it's okay to do. Warren or Rico, 18-team guillotine. Oh, Ashton, really tough there. Let's get a tight end, by the way. So I'm not really big on Pat, but Fields, of course, is a tight end lover. Yeah, why not? Why not? So this team is a Trevor Kirk stack with Tank as our other wide receiver. JT and White. So we got the JT Tank Dell run back, and then Fryermuth Fields connection. Like and subscribe. Yeah, help me out, guys, on the road to 6K here. Drop Trevor Lawrence for Fields? I would not. Oh, you already have Jaden Reed? I mean, Jaden Daniels? Super close, Pepper Tony, but yeah, I don't know, man. Like the Steelers O-line's so rough, and that can go one of 2 ways. It can mean like similar to how Lamar was running so much due to pressure. Like we could get that from Fields, which is great. But Fields could also be benched, and like I like Lawrence, so I'd be starting Trevor over Fields this week. I'd be starting Caleb over Fields this week. I would not start Baker over Fields. I would not start Kirk Cousins over Fields. I would not start Herbert. But like Caleb, Trevor, I'm starting these guys over Fields. Unless I need 30 to 40 points from the quarterback position to win my matchup. Full PPR pick 3, London, Collins, Metcalf, Godwin, Waddle. Collins is a lock. I think you throw London in there too. And probably Waddle. Herbert or Fields for Guillotine League. I don't remember what the Guillotine League rules, like what you have to like cut a player each week. Like is there strategy with like who you play? I don't remember. Help me out with Guillotine League rules, guys. Lawrence or Daniels today. I'm assuming you're talking for your home league. I have that same spot in my home league, so and I'm playing Trevor. So this is my home league team, and I'm facing Tolan, who I've done some high stakes drafts with. We went to college together. It's my college league. Really, ESPN? Is this serious? The second I pull it up, it's like, let's log you out. Okay. Anyways. So, I've already got Worthy and AJ Brown. I have Ayuk in this league, which he's reported to not run a full complement of routes, but I'm not benching him for Brian Thomas. Like, whatever. And we already got a decent lead here. We got Trevor and Kirk firing up today. We got Achane and Chase Brown. Kincaid, Bears D, kicker. His big players are Puka, Moore, McBride, and Tank. Zamir White, he's also punting off RB2 with Eckler. So it should be close, but I think I'm a little bit of a favorite with my guys already having scored well. Pretty good bench here. Corum, Rico, Davis, Tolbert. I drafted 2 QBs, which I usually don't do. And yeah, I'm starting Trevor this week in a, potential back and forth affair stacked with Kirk. But if Daniels smashes like he definitely can, probably just cut Trevor or roll with Daniels the rest of the way. Shakir or Coleman, I would play Shakir there. High conviction on Flowers? Yes, super high conviction. Still. I mean, Flowers got a lot of usage that game. He just he had like 5 targets wiped away by penalty. He's going to have better days when when the pressure doesn't get home as quick. Thoughts on Ayuk this week? Is it worth benching him for any of Chase Brown, Brian Robinson, Coleman, or Myers? If I was benching him for one of those players, I would bench him for Jacoby Myers. But I'd have a tough time doing that. Like, I don't really care about I'm not benching Jamar Chase. I'm not benching Ayuk unless I have like a really similar player. Would I bench Ayuk for Drake London? Sure. But I don't even care. Jets defense, everything, like Ayuk can get there on 4 targets. Jaden Daniels over Fields? Yeah, I would do that. They're the same thesis, and it's just like I could see Jaden Daniels have a bigger game. Got the 2 spot here. So if you come in last in Guillotine, all your players go on waivers? Jeez. Do you like Dell over 50 yards? Seems pretty decent to me, man. I like betting on Tank Dell this week. I'm playing him quite a bit in DFS. Am I trying to make any trades? Tommy, I kind of play the villain role in my home league, so I really don't there's one guy that would trade with me. Most people have an embargo on me, I would say. And then also, some of the people are trying to rob themselves trading with me, so I sometimes just don't even try. Let's go Achan. Good morning, sir. Rest of season, half-point PPR. Which pair do you like better? Worthy and Charbonnet or Higgins and Spears? Super close, Isaac. Let me let my cat out. My nephew's over and woke him up. Thing about Worthy is he's gonna have some huge games. He ran super well to score 20 points last week. But his usage will only go up. So I really don't know on this one. And the Higgins thing is hard to discern. Like, I guess he hurt his hamstring. It's also hard to say that if T. Higgins is just trying to, like, are Higgins and Chase just trying to stick it to the Bengals ownership? Because the Bengals don't really need either of them to beat the Patriots. You know, like the Patriots are going to beat themselves. So I don't know. I'd probably take the Higgins side. But you're going to be frustrated if Higgins is being a jackass all year. And he might be actually injured, which, of course, is not being a jackass. Do you think Chase Brown gets slightly more touch this week if Jamar and Higgins are out? Yeah, I mean, I think the ball would go to Yoshivas, Gesicki, Moss, Chase Brown. I think if the Bengals are winning by a lot, they could go one of two ways. They could salt the game away with Moss, let him take hits. He's not explosive. He's consistent. He's not essential. You know, he may not be as essential for their future plans. Or they might want to get Chase Brown going in a game where they're up with no risk. We see teams do this sometimes. Happy first Sunday. Could Bucks Commanders be the highest scoring game this week? Both teams were civs defensively in the secondary last year. I think the Bucks took, you know, it's really like, can the Commanders keep up is the question, Schmo. The Commanders have a terrible defense still. Yes. I'm not sure. Sorry, guys. My cat wants back in now. Make up your mind. So yeah, it's really if the Commanders can keep up. Jaden Daniels is definitely a viable play where this is probably going to be the cheapest salary he ever is, unless he's just like a bust in the NFL, and it's not hard for him to blow up. Terry is a clear stacking partner, and then after that, it's pretty thin. Yeah, we'll buy the Jamar Chase FUD for sure. Okay to leave salary. It's always okay to leave salary in tournaments for uniqueness. Agreed. Thoughts on Likely versus Andrews usage? Week 1, nothing, or sign of a headache to come? We've talked about this, Pepper Tony, but here, let me let my cat in and I'll answer this. Let's go DJ Moore. Love the Bears pieces. So yeah, like I think it's okay to say, hey, the FUD on Andrews has gone a little too far. He's going to have better days ahead, and he will. But I think you need to be excited about Likely. He looked really good. Yes, he got injured at the end, but then he came back. So he looked really good. And honestly, like, I think I might take Likely over Andrews for total points this season. I don't think he's going like back in the bottle. And the use of, it's noticeably different than in the past. Like Bateman is going to be a deep A dot guy who will have some big games, but probably not a huge target earner. Zay Flowers will be the number one target earner, I think, on the Ravens, kind of the engine of the offense. Justice Hill will be a big part in trailing game scripts for sure, and maybe even without. Henry will be okay in games where the Ravens are not trailing, and really tough for him to be fantasy relevant when they are. And then Likely just seems like he's going to be the third target at worst, and easily could be the second highest target earner. And he wins downfield too. Yeah, I wouldn't play Burton, but not impossible. Easily Caleb if you have a big lead. I mean, Caleb Williams' floor is like probably 15 points, and Justin Fields' floor is him getting benched because he's eaten 10 sacks. Chuba, Ayuk, or Yoshi this week in the flex. If I just need like 10 points to win and I have a lead, I'd play Chuba. Otherwise, I'd play Ayuk. So I don't really like doing things like the 12 hole did here. Could be auto drafting, I don't know. But Tua, and I guess he's going to stack him with Jonnu Smith, or he's just not going to stack him. If you're not going to stack him, it's pretty bad. We'll probably go Joe Burrow with our 50th pick here. No need to take him at 47 with Kyler on the inside. Yeah, I think Fields is like, if you're playing Fields, of course you can play him naked, but I'd rather be playing him with either Pickens or who will be pretty low owned, or Freiermuth. And because we saw Fields and DJ Moore do it. We saw Fields and Cole Kmet do it. So pretty similar weapons. Pickens is not as good as DJ Moore, but the way that Fields supports fantasy assets is generally deep passes, and that's what Pickens excels at. So Pickens' floor, super low every single week. Ceiling, pretty high each week. I'd play Yoshi Voss if I need some ceiling, and if I just need like a safe 10-point floor, I'd play Javante. I'd play Bowers over Taysom, but it's a coin flip, Paul. Oh, I think Jamar for sure is playing, but we're about to find out. Jalen Ramsey, hamstring injury. Interesting. Yeah, we'll take Bowers with our first pick, and then Joe Burrow with our next. You want to be like, I think Bowers is one of the last ceiling swings at tight end. Like significant tier break of him over here. So pretty nice to get him there. And then we'll take Joe Burrow, and then we can decide, do we want to double stack it with Yoshi Voss, which in general we probably don't want to be double stacking as much, but at the same time, it could be heavily concentrated to those two dudes today. And we often see where it's like Yoshi Voss will be chalk in DFS, but he'll be very low owned in something like this. Fields or Purdy as quarterback. Oh, and by the way, guys, if Chase gets ruled out, he gets swapped to the next guy I rank or whatever. I don't know how to do that, but that's only if he's ruled out. If he's like active but just doesn't play, then I eat a 0 and this team's dead. Fields or Purdy as QB, I'd play Fields there. I'd play Fields there just with the, Purdy facing the Jets D. Definitely scary Terry over JSN for me. I could see Gesicki having a better season than we thought possible if he just kind of like just plays more over third wide receiver. Jonnu, I think, will have some big games. He's obviously helped by the injuries to the Dolphins. Like Malik Washington's out this game, so it's Tyreek, it's Waddle, it's the small dude. I can't even remember his name. He's not fantasy relevant though. So like, there's not a lot of target competition today for the Dolphins. Make sure to like and subscribe, guys, if you like this Sunday morning cram sesh. I think some pretty good late emerging game theory plays is Falcons defense with Fields looking like he's going to be chalky. We know Fields eats sacks anyways. And the O-line is looking problematic. And guys like Mike Gesicki and or playing any other punt wide receiver other than Andre Yoshi Voss. Guys such as Jalen McMillan, paying up more for Roma Dunze, even though he'll be popular. Adonai Mitchell, Mike Gesicki instead. If you drafted T before the doubtful designation, does he get swapped? I think he swaps price, but like, I'm not claiming I fully know the rules there. So read the rules, check it out. I don't 100% know. Superflex League, I have Saquon, Brees, and Kyron. Should I receive Kyler Murray for Kyron in Superflex? Yeah, with you having core, man, I think it do it. Maybe ask for a little bit more. Honestly, I don't play Superflex, so I'm not going to pretend that I have the best gauge of value there. But from my memory of Superflex like drafts, quarterbacks go in the first round. Like Kyler Murray's a first round pick, so trading Kyron for Kyler Murray seems like a steal, especially since you have Saquon and Brees as your other two running backs, and you have leverage off of Kyron with Corum, and you get to upgrade from Levis to Kyler. So yeah, I would trade Kyron Williams for Kyler Murray. What 3 non-QB players do you think are a lock to score a touchdown in week 1? Let's go with DJ Moore, Nico Collins, and Achane or Tyreek. Yeah, like I generally want to play things before the field, but with Warren, it's a little bit tough with him being banged up. So yeah, running backs are typically better plays here. Of course, not Moss with us having Burrow and Chase. So like Jerome Ford, pretty viable. Yoshi Voss allows me to double stack. A guy like Rome is rarely drafted. Let's go Ford. Yes, Daddle will be very low owned. I think he's a decent punt RB2. Singletary or Chuba in PPR, that's a coin flip for me. Pretty even. Yeah, I would play Najee over Warren. Fields negatively affects them for sure. Full PPR start 1, Brian Thomas Jr., Mostert, Josh Palmer. Mostert, I'd start Mostert there. Unless I needed, like, I don't know. Mostert has high floor and ceiling, so I think I just deal with Mostert, even though Brian Thomas Jr. is like a more fun start, and Palmer's a fine start too. Mostert or Chase Brown, pretty easily Mostert there with Brown's ambiguity. CMC is a player, yep. Your projection on these, by the way, are not going to be high unless you draft Tyreek Hill. Like my 2 teams projected comfortably more than the rest are these 2 Tyreek teams. We're going to take Josh Allen if we get a chance. Yeah, Jatavian Sanders, I didn't write him up, but I definitely think he's an okay 2.5K dart throw. And I also think Theo Johnson for the Giants is a good dart throw. The tough thing about both of them at 2.5K is like Yoshi Voss is a strong favorite to outscore both of them for only being 3K. So unless you're like punting off Yoshi Voss and punting off tight end to build stars and scrubs elsewhere, which by the way, like stars and scrubs is going to be pretty popular today. Jamming Tyreek Hill, playing Yoshi Voss. So if you just build a balanced lineup with a bunch of 5K players, you're already going to be pretty unique. Don't think we'll get Josh Allen at the 12th hole. Nope. We're not scared about the matchup. I just think he's going to be heavily targeted. I think I'd play Chase Brown if you needed to catch up. Just kind of hard to believe Eckler has a huge ceiling, but I guess he, it's feasible. Where would you rank Fields today? I would start Burrow over Fields. I would start Jaden Daniels over Fields. So I'm not as high on him as other people. Again, in our high stakes league, like I want to start Caleb. Jacob wants to start Fields, and I think Ron sided with me. Honestly, like how this has it ranked, I would put Fields below. I'd start Fields over Dak just with the defensive matchup. But I would start Daniels over Fields. I'd start Burrow over Fields. I'd start Tua over Fields. Kyler over Fields. Richardson, Stroud, Josh, obviously. I'd start Lawrence and Caleb unless I needed 40 points. Yeah. If you have Achane, it definitely changes the decision to start Mostert. I don't want to be starting Mostert and Achane. So pick a different guy if you have Achane already. Thoughts on Marshawn Lloyd? I think he just needs to get healthy, but pretty wheels up for him once he does. Possible Emmanuel Wilson holds it off, but like 3rd round picks, guys, are generally good bets. Appreciate it, man. Good luck to you as well. Would you avoid Tyler Bass given the win conditions? I wouldn't get that nitty gritty, but if you're worried about it and there's another kicker you like, go for it. Daniels or Dak today? Probably Daniels. Daniels or Caleb? I would start Caleb. Tua or Trevor? I would start Tua, but it's pretty close. Sure. Let's go Kincaid and ETN. Fields over Dak. Like, I think Dak stacks are pretty decent tournament plays in DFS land, but they have a terrible over-under. They're facing one of, if not the best defense in the NFL. So even though Dak's like an elite fantasy quarterback, he generally is not doing that against elite defenses. Choose 3. Achane, James Cook, Ken Walker, Rashad White. Michael, this is super tough. Achane, like, are you talking for DFS? Is kind of my guess there with you having this many players, or are you talking about your home league? I choose Achane, Cook, and White. But I mean, it's like you're really flipping coins between Cook, Walker, and White. Let's have ourselves an F&A. Pretty easily Rome for me. I like Dowdle a lot in best ball, but I think, you know, he's not like a slam dunk start. Mostert. Like I'm not playing any Mostert in DFS, even though he's a decent tournament play. But I mean, it's week 1. We've seen it before from him. I like Moss, but it's a projection, you know. Daniel Jones over Dak? Oh, I thought he was asking Jaden Daniels. No, I would start Dak over Daniel Jones. But honestly, it's close. Did I misread a question there? No, he asked Jaden Daniels, JD. Pick 2 out of Spears, Brian Robinson, Chase Brown, and Rico. Ooh, this is some like main event type RBs. Brian Robinson and Chase Brown for me. But like again, these are low. That's not a low that's a pretty low confidence one. Yeah, that's what I thought. JD, DJ, you know, it's all close. If you missed my week 1 write-up on the DFS slate, you can read it here. It's free. I'll link it in chat. ETN, I think, is a really great tournament play. Tua or Jaden, I'd play Tua. Unless I needed like 40 points from the quarterback position. But Tua has a much higher floor. Like, even though rushing generally provides a floor, it's week 1, game 1 of a rookie. And so, yeah, Daniels has a high ceiling. He probably has a decent floor, but I wouldn't say his floor is as high as Tua in the game with like the highest over under, you know? Yeah, I think Brian Thomas is definitely a viable DFS play. I wrote about him in the article. Low floor, high ceiling. Stop. Is this real? Is this some like Scotty Scheffler shit, or is this like a real arrest? Oh my God. That's annoying, man. Because I was playing Tyreek, but I wasn't playing him as much. Man, I'm not even thinking about my pick. I'm so annoyed by that. I just played 2 effing Jaguars. What am I doing? Um, Fuck it. DK Metcalf. Let's go. This is not a good team, but all right. Let's pull up the Tyreek Hill shit. Okay, they're handcuffed outside the stadium, so unless like they found drugs or weapons on them or whatever, there's still time for him to play. Honestly, I don't know. I don't know, guys. His agent is somehow there. All right, so I mean, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. So it's possible this is a Scotty Scheffler. He goes, he gets booked, he gets released, he plays. That's in the range of outcomes. In which case, you might get Tyreek Hill at like 5%. It's also possible he's arrested for the year and he's out for the season. He was gonna be mega chalk, and I thought he maybe would have lowered Achan's ownership a little bit because of that, who also will be chalky. But now, like, I don't know. No, you don't get arrested for being late, brother. That's not how that works. That's what we're hoping, I guess, or not hoping. I don't know, man. God, could NFL Week 1 be any more dramatic? Oh, man. Where was it? Dude, we just pulled it up on Twitter. We just saw Tyreek Hill in cuffs. I mean, I don't know if he's arrested. Okay. All right. All right. He's going to play. Driving violation. Dolphins wide receiver was detained by police today, but Rosenhaus said he will play. All right. Jesus Christ. Calais Campbell has got to be like, I'm not driving with Tyreek to the stadium anymore. God, guys, if you asked any start sit questions in the past couple minutes, I didn't see it. All right, here's one. Start Kirk, Palmer, Sutton, or Chase Brown. Christian Kirk pretty easily there for me. Yeah, I mean, he should be pissed off. God, what is this guy doing? Oh, he has Evan Ingram. All right. Honestly, when I have ETN and Kirk, I don't even want to be drafting Trevor because the story I'm trying to tell is, I mean, I wasn't paying attention. I was reading the Tyreek news. So that's why I drafted Kirk, but whatever. It's unique. Story I'm trying to tell is like ETN goes for 20 and so does Kirk, which inherently means Trevor is not the best quarterback when you have both RB and wide receiver, unless, of course, they all catch touchdowns. No, no, no. You don't need to change anything. I wouldn't change anything. He's playing. Really? I could see a cop doing that, trying to piss him off. Well, let's take Gino. Throw him in the queue there. And let's also take Zach Moss. Should be low owned. Mega unique team. Jeez. I need to pick up a defense in this league. This is the main event I did with Tolan. He didn't want us to draft Jaden Reed, I think, and I convinced him. So pretty effing sick. We got Jaden Reed. We got the Narv Dog. We couldn't drop Eagles D, but we just picked up Falcons D. We got Kyron, Bijan, DJ Moore, Kincaid, Shakir, Ferguson, Caleb. So we're off to a good start here. And his player just got cuffed. Zach Moss or Tony Pollard? Coin flip for me, Austin. But I think the Bears defense is significantly better than the Patriots defense. Yeah, I mean, I think this is going to be a narrative people say, but like, I personally don't believe that you can just get angry and generate more fantasy points. So maybe Tua targets him more to try to calm him down. I don't know. We're getting rumors that the cop jump kicked Tyreek Hill. I mean, he was probably being a jackass. Not that I think cops should assault people. Yeah, this is probably how it went down. Let's see if we can find the clip of the cop assaulting Tyreek Hill. Schefter saying his agent said he's going to play. How did his agent just get there? I don't know. Didn't see anything there. All right, here's a longer video. God, man, you're about to play a football game. Like he's already necessary. Police are ridiculous, man. Although he probably said something like, "Fuck you, I'm Tyreek Hill." So, all right, this is a good spot to get Josh Allen, probably. I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about, Supreme. Cops got 2% Tyreek. Big H-Chan and Waddle bags. They really will. They're gonna do the oh my god. If he scores, they're all gonna like kneel over his back like the cops just did. They're gonna do that for sure. Owen, if he's active, I'm playing him. Yeah, I mean, if Joe Biden does not audit that cop's best ball portfolio, then I don't know, man. Would you say double stacking is bad in Battle Royale? In Mark, in general, I'm not trying to do it at a huge clip. I think it's okay to do on occasion, especially if the field is not doing it as often as they should. But my intuition is people are probably doing it more often than they should. Got to get at least one Josh team, you know. He outprojects these players, but in my opinion, he's not as good of a pick as them because quarterback is the harder position to separate from. So I need Josh to score like 40 to win with him. Or just a bunch of these guys to fail. So yeah, like I will double stack a little bit, Mark, but in general, we're probably trying to hit ceiling at all of our positions, and your ceiling's a little capped when you're playing two players from the same team. I'd read my DFS article on it, but you know, like the Dog Bowl, okay, it's only 5,200 entrants. So that matters. Like I'm not trying to place first in a million person contest. Only 5,200. So I don't need ceiling in every spot. Like you can get away with not like just getting 10 points from one of your players. Oh, Adam. Come on, brother. We're hip to that. You don't think my chat would let me know that? How are you feeling about Hurts ceiling after seeing Barkley red zone usage? Yeah, I think Saquon will score more touchdowns than previous Eagles running backs, but I'm not too worried about Hurts. He like that field stopped him. Like I saw many runs from him last night or the other night where the field prevented him from cutting, where he just like slipped. So he might not score as many rushing touchdowns, but he'll be fine. Oh, we're fired up, Owen. Probably gonna go for another 10 minutes or so, and then do some last minute tinkering on my end, get some food before the games today. So again, guys, make sure to like and subscribe. You can also join my Discord. The link is below. I'll be doing this every Sunday morning. Peter, yes, we did, brother. I'll be doing this every Sunday morning for start sit questions, last minute battle royales, and check back in tomorrow. I'll have a week in review, waiver wire, etc. Let's go White. Definitely okay to do James Cook with Josh, but again, generally prefer one or the other. I think I did build one Josh Cook team. Yeah, this is gonna be my last draft. I'm gonna call it. I need to get some breakfast in me. I woke up at 6 a.m. today. I don't know why. I went to bed at like 1 a.m. or midnight. Just shot up awake. It's that week one jitters. How much fab would you drop on Likely as the Andrews owner? Whether I'm the Andrews owner or not, I'd drop a pretty penny on Likely. I think he looked legit. So 60% plus. Again, let's see how the games go out today. Maybe Puka Nakua appears out of nowhere, but unlikely. Yeah. Strangely, I think Tyreek Hill getting arrested could make him higher owned. Let's do it again. We're just drafting all the DJ Moore, so hopefully he's the key to success this week. It's not fun when you lose people, broster. Like, I drafted DJ Chark at an okay clip, and it's like, man, on IR before the season even begins? Bummer. Men and women, James. We have 1% woman viewership on this channel. Yeah, agree, Brendan. Yes, man. I don't see the Patriots winning with Jacoby Brissett at home. Pick up Tua or Fields to replace Love for the next couple weeks. Probably Tua, but it's close, Kai. Adam's a buyer of the anger narrative. I saw the most unhinged thread on Twitter yesterday. I'm sure some of you guys saw it too, where the guy finished last in his fantasy league and he needed to drink like, I don't know, 20 drinks or something before he could leave the bar. Man, I'm just like thinking through that. I would feel like absolute ass if that was me. I'd black out too. I played a chess tournament yesterday. Man, my chess, like, I play beautiful chess for so long, and I'm dominating, and then I just utterly collapsed in 2 games yesterday. Frustrating, but get them next time. Like, I'm okay getting outplayed. I learned something from that. I'm okay getting tricked or blundering, like whatever, made a mistake. It's annoying when you're just like winning and then you throw it away. Beer 14. Yeah, he wasn't just doing beers though, man. It was like shots. It was all of this. Wow, Rome Odunze, and like, he goes undrafted half the time. Yeah, we can't really let someone take Shakir from us, so we'll just snap him here. Got to get someone to stack with Josh. 20 drinks is my plan today. I'm planning to eat a lot of food. I wanted to go Bowers there just because tight end falls off more. But it's just kind of annoying if one of these guys takes Shakir. And this guy is Kyler, so I could see him wanting to game stack it. Yeah, I think I'd go Rome there, Pepper, but it's very close. So if you'd rather do Brian, I wouldn't fault you. In general, I'm just going to play the guy who was drafted 9th overall over the guy who was drafted in the 20s. All things else being equal, week 1. He's a total viable punt, Will, as is Theo Johnson at the Stone Min. I'm not gonna do it though because like look at the Bucks last year with Canales. Kate Otten was barely fantasy relevant. So yeah, no one worth taking in the tight end department with this pick. So we'll take Christian Kirk. Just try to jam in the best plays here. Jamar Chase. Yeah, I mean, dude, people are afraid. You'll definitely see some random FUD. What's your plan on Burton in managed leagues, if any? I would not play Jermaine Burton today in managed. No. I would add him if you could do the waiver wire, but would not play. Unless a report comes out that's like, hey, he's going to start. Schefter reported that Chase is unlikely to get an extension before kickoff. I mean, obviously, were people really thinking that Jamar Chase was going to sign a contract like an hour before the game starts? Come on. No, yeah, I think in general, just buying the FUD on players is a good strategy. It's not going to work always. It might not work with Jamar Chase, but what do you think of the Bills D this season? I think the talk around I think some lazy talk that I've heard from some other touts is that the Bills D will be much worse this year. I don't agree with that. Their weaker position group is safety, where they got rid of two really old guys who used to be good, Micah Hyde and Jordan Poyer, but they're out of the team for a reason. I think their front seven is good. I think their corners are great, like really good. They have all pro slot corner, and they're out. Like Sean McDermott is like, that's what he does. He finds good corners. And so good front seven, good corners. They drafted a safety who will eventually take over in the second round. I think the Bills D is going to be good and definitely a viable play tonight or today. Losing Matt Milano hurts, but last year the Bills lost like 5 linebackers, and so they're not going to be in the state where they were against the Chiefs in the playoff game. They're not going down to AJ Klein, who they signed off the street. Like they have good linebackers behind Matt Milano. They're just not Matt Milano. I think Matt Collins is definitely a viable punt. I think Komet is viable. Fant's viable. Let's go Fant with the revenge game. We already have a Bears piece. Pick 69. Fant on my winning BBM2 team. As was Josh Allen. As was Shakir. As was Christian Kirk. We're getting the boys back together here. Maybe this is my dog bowl qualifier. Pretty much only 3 winners in the dog bowl each week. I think Jonnu's some nice leverage off of Miami as well. Mega low floor, high ceiling. I think he's big game eligible each week. And similar to Mike Gesicki with no Malik Washington, it just makes him a better play. I think Taysom Hill is playable every single week at tight end in tournaments. Neighbors or Dell in PPR? Really close. I think consensus is Neighbors, but it's super close, will be. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to be it for me this week. I'll be back Monday for more regular content. Every Sunday, we'll be here for start sits, drafts, DFS crams. Hope you guys got value out of this. Let me know in the in the comments. I'm going to end the stream. Do me a favor, refresh the stream, drop a comment in the YouTube below. Just helps the algorithm. Write something like, wow, great week 1 cram sesh. Hoping that I win a Millie Maker, you win a Millie Maker, we all win the Millie Maker. Let's have a great fucking week 1. Enjoy your days. Peace out.